What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the lab with another quest build, and I think I found my god hatch of 2K20. Let's just think about this. Allen Houston, Jamal Mashburn, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, Tracy McGrady, and most importantly, Joe Johnson all walk into a bar, walk out, and this would be their dad. This is my Joe Johnson hatch of 2K20. It is the offensive-minded guard. 6'7" shooting guard, a behemoth. Basically, if you put a smaller defender on him, it's barbecue chicken in the post. He's got a crazy post fade. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can facilitate, he can play defense. He's just a big-ass guard who just punishes people on the offensive end and is an all-purpose player. Kind of a throwback type player, to the mid-90s, early mid-2000s. This is basically a back-to-the-basket wing. Not a small back-to-the-basket guard, because a 6'7", this is going to be a big-time size player. So let's get right into it, and then we'll talk about some of the different things you can do with this build in the end, get in some highlights. But let's get into the making of this build, because this is this is a dominant monster. This is gruesome. So obviously you're going to go shooting guard. Quest builds off rip. You're going to go shooting and finishing pie chart. This is going to allow you to shoot the rock and finish inside. So this is physical pie chart. Actually, you can choose between a few different ones. You can choose all speed, and that gives you more speed, but look at your strength. It's actually kind of weak. Kind of one of the big assets to this build is you're going to be able to bang down low if you get a mismatched smaller defender on you. But if you're more of a slasher type player, this pie chart works because you're going to be able to get around your guys easier, and you're still going to have those Hall of Fame finishing badges. So this is an interesting setup. You can go with speed. You can also go speed and strength, get a little bit of best of both worlds. You want strength on this build. Joe Johnson's a punishing, behemoth of a man, and he would put people in jail and just kind of he would just take what the defense gives him. And if you're smaller, you're going to get punished. So you need strength on this build. But the problem with this pie chart is the vertical is not very high, and grabbing rebounds, contesting shots, getting blocks, offense rebounds, you're going to feel like you kind of can't jump with this build, with this pie chart. So I'm personally going to go with the well-rounded pie, the balanced pie. You get the speed, you get the strength, and then the vertical is going to allow you to have just another notch above your defenders, being able to out-jump them, get rebounds. This kind of makes it more of an all-around, well-rounded shooting guard. So we're going to go with that. So now let's get into the specs. You're going to go close shot. You're going to put that in an 81. Driving layup, you're going to put that in an 85. Driving dunk, you're going to get that to an 83. So max out your driving layup and driving dunk. Your standing dunk, you're going to max that out to a 58. That's going to give you 14 finishing badges. No post hook, even though Joe Johnson or like Jamal Mashburn, those guys have a nice little drop step post hook. But again, you're going to be able to finish inside with 14 finishing badges. So mid-range, you're going to max that out to 80. 3-point, max that out to 80. Free throw, max that out to 88. And post fade, max out to 90. That gives you 21 shooting badges. This is a hot shooting build that's going to be able to basically score from any level on the court when you pass half court. Maybe even back to half court. But playmaking, you're going to max out that pass accuracy to 81. Max out the ball handle to 79. And then you're going to put the post moves up to 48. And as you can see there's a little bit of leeway here from 43 to 48, but that's going to be the plethora of excess attributes after the defense and rebounding. And I'll tell you why I put that on post moves, the little extra. You can also put that on post hook, but post moves are allow you to be able to move a little bit better in the post, and you're not going to be able to get another badge unless you put it on close shot, but then they'll change the name. And we want this name, we want this feel, we want this build. So defensively, not going to have any interior defense, but you're going to be strong enough to battle in the post regardless. But you're going to max out your perimeter defense to a 75, your lateral quickness to a 70, your stealies to a 75. Then you're going to put your block at a 34. no offensive rebounds on this build, and then you're going to max out your defensive rebounds to 75, which gives you 6 defensive badge upgrades. So as you can see, like I forgot to mention 13 playmaking badges. That's my little sweet spot number. That gives you gold on many different playmaking badges. You'll have a quick first step on gold, post spin on gold, downhill on gold. So playmaking badges. Overall, you're going to get 54 badge upgrades on this offensive-minded guard. It's going to be gross. Just from the default numbers here, you're going to be too big to stop in the post and too quick and too lethal from the outside to have a big man on you. So ultimately, you're going to need a lockdown to be able to even try to defend this build. But so anyway, we're going to go into it a little bit deeper here. Body shape, built, you want that intimidating presence. And then height, this is where it gets spooky, 6'7". So as you can see, your standing dunk 69, your driving dunk goes down to a 79, so you're not going to get contact dunks off rip or anything. But still, like 79 driving dunk with with Hall of Fame contact finisher, you're going to be dunking on dudes, period. As you can see, your ball handle stays at a 70, so you get pro handles off rip once you max that out. And then your midi and 3-point shots around an 80. 21 shooting badges, you're going to, like I said, you can hit in the mid to high 60s with shooting badges. You get anywhere close to an 80, and it's a wrap. So 6'7". I'm going to go so you can max this build out to 235, but on my build, I actually made him 233. I know I'd like to keep the acceleration at 70, but having it at 69, you don't really notice that much of a difference, but I wanted that 80 strength. That's super crucial for this build because I want to punish my defenders. And also having more strength on the perimeter when you're guarding quicker, smaller guards, the stronger you are, the more you latch on and ride them. They can't turn the corner on you. So I noticed that playing Park as a 60. Literally, I'll bring this build out as a 60 and clamp little savages because they can't get around me once I latch on. You put gold clamps on this build, they're not going to be able, you're going to ride them all the way to the hoop and they're not going to be able to finish. So 233, you're going to drop the wingspan down to 81.9. That gives you an 80 midi, a 79 3 ball, 71 handles. Your steelies is still a 69. This build is like I'm so glad I found this build. Now your strength's an 81. Like, come on now. So let's go to the takeover and talk about this, real quick. Joe Johnson could shoot the lights out. We all know that. So you can go spot up shooter and be a threat at all times. Playmaking takeover will allow you to get the ball in your hands and make plays for everyone. This is Joe Johnson as well. I mean, he can make plays. He doesn't necessarily. I've watched more Joe Johnson than anyone I've ever seen, and he creates plays not only for himself but for others every time he gets the rock. So playmaking takeover makes a lot of sense, and then with all the attribute upgrades increases when you get takeover is going to be disgusting. Slashing takeover is kind of hot because now you're yamming on people, and it adds another just element to this build that isn't necessarily, you can shoot, you can handle the rock, but now you're dunking on people. That's not going to be fair. This is like Joe Johnson on the Suns pre-injury screw Jerry Stackhouse for pushing them off the rim. But then shot creator, this is actually the one I'm going to go with because Joe Johnson at the end of the day is a shot creator. At any level of the court, he's going to be able to hit middies, turnarounds. He's going to be able to create his own shot. And so being able to shake defenders and get even more room to play with, you can have difficult shots on. Hall of shot creator is disgusting with this build. So before we get into, I'm going to cook out the badges, and then I'm going to show you guys some highlights. But before we get into the actual offensive-minded guard, you're going to see that here in a second. Ultimately, this is basically a 3-level scoring mid-range finisher. If you tweak it, it's a slasher build that can shoot, but offensive-minded guard is an RBC name. It is super hot, and so that's what we're going to do to get this name, offensive-minded guard. Throw Ray Allen in that DNA mix that I said in the beginning. This build is so toxic. It is gross. It is spooky. I'm throwing my VC at it because you're going to be able to dominate at this is a comp build through and through. Don't even step foot in the cages with this build because you're just going to demolish everybody. No one should even be in the cages at this point. But so I'm going to throw some badges on this and show you guys what it can really do in the test builder, see if it passes the eye test. I already know it does. But I hope you guys enjoyed offensive-minded guard 6'7". This is the Joe Johnson build that I've been looking for in 2K20 all this time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out these highlights. Don't forget to hit the bell. Shout out to my boy One Up Sound and my boy Bone, aka Joey Bye Weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.